Hey there, Supalama here. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video, so I figured I'd explain what's been going on as I pick this challenge lock made by Trekmaster30. Here is the bitting. It's just in a Stanley lock body, which I've removed the shackle. I can't get a hold of a kick holder for all the kicks that I have, so I've resorted to using this lock body, which does accept kicks, to hold the locks that I want. And it does just fine. They are a bit floppy though, so that is one thing to deal with, but I figured I would explain why the lack of videos, honestly. So really, as most of everyone knows who I talk to on the Discord chat, my life is quite busy, mostly due to the job that I have. I work what most people call continental shifts, so most of my days are me sleeping because I work overnight, and my housemate that I have doesn't particularly like a lot of noise at night. It's rather early at night now, so he's just going to bed, so I should be able to get away with this video. But I've also been working on rather difficult locks, such as the Acid Twin 6000 with the gin bottle variation. That's their older design, as well as the Abloy Protec, the first version, not the second. I've been designing a pick with that, and that's slowly been in the works, as well as the Scorpion CX-5. If anyone's familiar with that one, it does have the gin bottle spools in it that ASA has, as well as it's got 5 sliders in it, which any release intention they drop. And I've dealt with a number of other locks as well that I can't get into right now, Bi-Lock, for example. So I found that I've immersed myself in straight picking these locks, just to try and get into them without the distraction, if you will, of making videos as well. It's somewhat worked out as I've been focusing on those locks, and I've put a great deal of time in them, but I'm nowhere near close to picking any of them. They are incredibly tough locks, and I admire anyone who is able to get into these locks. But that is what we do, why we do what we do, because we love it. So that's really why there's been a lack of videos, and I never set out to post daily videos like some of our other pickers on YouTube do. But I do enjoy putting out the exotic locks if I can, and challenge locks when I get into them. I still have a couple of Chris Aaron's challenge locks that I still can't get into. And maybe one day I'll get into them, but I wouldn't expect anytime soon. They're incredibly difficult, and Chris quite clearly has a very good knack for picking locks that are incredibly difficult. And I can't get this pin to set. There we go. And I also got a small burn on my hand today from trying to make a key cutout for these Schalge seat keyways, just because trying to bounce off this warding is such a pain. But that's really what's been going on. I've tried to keep up on videos, but work and general life does get in the way at times, and we all have lives outside of picking. We have other things that we need to do. We have Some have kids, some have, you know, our jobs take up the rest of our lives, so everyone has to have their priorities straight. That's not to say that I won't stop making videos, but I wouldn't expect the frequency of videos that I've done before. So there it is picked. Like I said, this is just a lock body. There is no shackle in it. It's completely gutted. I even took the actuator out. Now, it has been a little while since I've actually gutted a lock as well, mostly because I keep getting destroyed by these other locks, so I will lock it back up. There. And Trekmaster's key works very, very smoothly. You would never know what's in here from using the key. Spinning tray. Just want to keep everything in view here for you guys. Yeah, that follower. Alright, so there are lots of security pins on that. And it looks like there's some chamber modifications as well, which we will get into. Alright, let's see here. I'm seeing there we go. Threading in 1, really nasty undercut in 2, standard in 3, threading in 4, standard in 5, and threading in 6. Very nasty serrated in 1, and that looks like a copper spring. You are set like that, other way. It's like a half spool with a wafer here, so that would make it a drunken spool. Copper spring. Looks like, actually looks like a standard spool. Looks like a factory spool in 3. Copper spring. Serrated T-pin in 4. Copper spring. Looks like a gradual spool on 5. Copper spring. Serrated in 6. copper spring. Let's take a look at the top chambers. I should mark the front before I do anything. 1 second. There, front is marked. Okay. Inside, I don't see anything, and I'm not feeling anything either. It doesn't look like the top cap has been pulled either. No, that is unmodified. Okay, Bible unmodified. Let me just rearrange the pins here. I think this one was like that. Okay. We've got a serrated key pin, serrated driver pin in the serrated chamber. We have a T-pin topped key pin with a drunken spool driver. We have a gradual spool key pin with a spool factory, looks like, driver pin. We have a serrated key pin with a serrated T-pin, and that's actually really nice. We have a serrated T-pin topped key pin and a gradual spool with a small serration in between each layer there. And we have serrated key pins and, serrated key pin and serrated driver. I believe that was also with a threaded chamber there. Now I haven't done this bit in a while, so do bear with me. But I know a lot of my viewers love when I do this. This one might be a bit of a pain. Let's just imagine the wafer on top of that, just to make things easy for me. Okay, so here is the lock at rest. If I could get focus. Thank you. Lock at rest. Keep in one. That serrated does really well in that threaded chamber. This drunken spool automatically locks right into that undercut that's in there. This spool does not act like a spool. Its bottom portion acts as simply a standard pin. The serrated T-pin works very well in that threaded chamber there. The gradual spool looks like only that secondary spot under where my tweezers are grabbing there actually do anything, and that's in a standard chamber. I would have liked to see that in an undercut. That would have grabbed pretty good. And 6 threaded chamber with serrated driver. That would have worked pretty darn good too. So there we have it. A challenge lock by Trekmaster30, picked and gutted. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you all again next video I make. Hopefully not another month down the road. Thanks for watching.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.